Love the sinner, hate the sin is a cliche that Christians often throw out that sounds reasonable in theory, but is always used to judge and discriminate against the LGBTQ plus community. Hey y'all, I'm Pastor Chris. I'm a Christian pastor. I hold progressive values, and I got asked this question in the comments section about love the sinner, hate the sin. So today, we're going to address that. So I actually agree with this concept that we should stand against an action while still being for people. I think that we would generally agree that we should stand against actions, sins, what we call sins in the Christian faith, such as murder and stealing and lying and things that we know are obviously wrong, while still seeking to love people even as they commit those harmful actions. The problem is when we decide that a core part of somebody's identity is a sin, and that we are going to, quote unquote, hate that part of that person. You cannot separate somebody from that part of them. And so to say love the sinner but hate the sin in reference to somebody's identity is a contradiction. We all have various dimensions of our identity. We have physical identity. We have our emotional selves. We have our mental selves. I believe there's also a spiritual component to every person. And everybody also has a sexual identity. We are sexual beings. And some people are asexual, but that is a part of their identity. And that is a part of the way that we operate in the world. I mean, you wouldn't say to somebody with a limb difference, I love you, but I hate the way that you walk. Or to somebody with Tourette's, I love you, but I hate your tics. It just doesn't make any sense, because then you aren't actually loving the whole person as they are, for who they are. And in the same way, it doesn't make sense to say to somebody, I love you, but I hate that you are attracted to this person. The more we learn about sexuality and gender, the more we realize that things are not as black and white as we initially assumed. We learn that there's actually a wide variety and diversity in sexuality and gender, the same way that there is variety and diversity in physical characteristics among human beings. Over the course of my lifetime, the more people that I've gotten to know who identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, queer, the more I have come to realize and understand that that is an essential part of who they are. The same way that me, as a straight cis male, being attracted to women is a part of who I am. I can't change that. All it takes is just a little bit of trying to put yourself in somebody else's shoes, a little bit of understanding in order to realize how harmful that phrase is, love the sinner, hate the sin. If somebody were to say to me, I love you, but I hate the fact that you are attracted to and want to be intimate with your wife, that doesn't go together. That doesn't mesh. They don't really actually love me for who I am. They're basically saying that in order for me to be lovable, I have to deny that part of myself. And that's what we say to people in the LGBTQ community when we say love the sinner, hate the sin.